Hey everyone, Odds here. Welcome back to the channel for Meta Monday, your weekly recap of all things Mechabellum in the last week. So, we're going to jump right into the in-game tournaments this week, and then as we get the games going, we can start to talk about the rest of what's been going on. So you have something actually to look at. So, first of all, the Asian region in the advanced group, we have Kay taking the win here. Congratulations, Kay. Looks like there was 6 rounds, so good job there. In Europe, we have Apooche coming in first as well, defeating Merles and Mardo. And actually, that was 7 rounds, so we had a pretty big tournament in Europe, so that was great. Congratulations, Apooche. And finally, in Americas, Apooche again is your back-to-back champion here, so congratulations. He did this as well. I think he did all 3 a few weeks ago, which was actually insane. So anyways, congratulations. Sparty coming in second and Amarok in third. Hey, Amarok, congratulations. Well played, my friend. Cool. So we are going to jump right into the game against Sparty here. All right, here we are. Very quick deployment here. All right, so in other tournament news, we have Mag 1 kicking off Season 6 this weekend on Saturday. And we had some really exciting games there. Unfortunately, I can't bring you any of the VOD because for some reason the VOD is not available on Twitch just yet. Even as a subscriber, I couldn't rewind or anything like that, so I can't give you any little preview there, so that's why we're doing this. But alas, I was participating in Mag 1. In case you hadn't noticed, I was one of the players, so we successfully made it to Mag 1 finally. And yeah, so I have I guess a hands-on approach to that, and maybe a little bit of myself being involved in defining the meta a bit, which is pretty cool, I suppose. And one thing that stands out this week is Hounds. Hounds have been showing a lot more play recently, and it feels like with the nerf to fire, there was a patch with a small nerf to fire damage. Let me actually pull it up so I can just be 100% sure on the data here. So it was, yeah, we had some balance adjustments, right? We had Arc Light, Phantom Ray, Fang, Steel Ball. They reduced costs of their new techs. Rhino Combat Evolvement had a slight change, so a little bit less HP being generated and a little bit more attack being generated. Void Eye Aerial Mode had a little bit more decrease in range. But I think one of the more substantial changes was the ground fire damage. So this is like napalm and just fire that's like on the ground. Went from 290 per second to 270 per second, which is going to reduce how much ground damage there is. The developer's note is like, since we have more options to counter light units compared to before, we can now rely less on ground fire to combat mass groups of units. Okay, theoretically, sure. But what that does is it does make, you know, crawlers and hounds and stuff like a little bit more effective, just a little bit. And so we've been seeing more hound usage, I think. The other thing is, like, I feel like people are starting to understand chamber compression now, and it's actually a very solid tech. It allows you to compete with sledgehammers and void eyes and arc lights and like the sort of medium units where they have a bit more HP, right? Arc light is like, you know, 5600 HP, sledgehammer 4000. It allows you to get a little bit more damage in. So we can actually see a chaff clear unit that also has potential to do a bit more damage. So it fills more of a role. And a lot of players are using this. They're being actually more aggro with it. So this is a little bit different. Apooche being, you know, on the defensive, not defensive, but like behind towers. Although is speed spec, so you know, quickly does close that gap. Sparty, by the way, fortified spec. So normally in this matchup it's not so good actually, because the Hounds do not one-shot the crawlers. Even if you were to take +1 attack, you wouldn't be able to kill the crawlers. You'd need to be 2 upgrades ahead. probably why we don't see attack being chosen for Apooche here, because there's really no point. But yeah, so I think some players are concerned maybe about the Hounds a bit. We'll see how it plays out in the following weeks. I don't really think much needs to be changed, if at all. I think the numbers are good. Like, we have some good breakpoints and stuff on the Hound. Not sure what you could change to alter that. I don't think it's a Hound specific issue. I think it's an issue maybe... Well, I mean, I don't think it's an issue right now yet, but it might be something to do with having not the most effective use for like dealing with swarmy stuff. But we'll see how the meta plays out over the next week or so over over the Mag 1. See if some ideas start to form. But yeah, so we're going to be covering probably a bit more of the Hound games here. And actually, we do see first tech on round 3 is going to be chamber compression on Hound for Apooche. Normally round 3 you see range. In this case, we're going chamber compression. Actually, it does help in this matchup against fortified. Like I was saying earlier, because we can't really get attack to get that breakpoint on the crawlers, the chamber compression, it will help us get over that breakpoint, right? This is only 12% attack increase. This is at minimum 35%, but because the attack rate is 2.4 seconds, it's actually a 70% increase in damage. So it will always be one-shotting those crawlers, and it'll also be doing a lot more damage to sledges and void eyes and whatnot. And of course, arc lights too. Although Sparty does have range on arc light this turn, so might be difficult to get in there. Apooche is speed spec, so maybe that could be a reason why we're forgoing range a bit, because we might be able to close that gap quickly enough. And has enough chaff here. Balls are getting in. What's interesting too, the balls are deployed way in the back. However, we don't have that new range tech. Would have been cool to see that instead of maybe energy absorption. Alright, see, look at these guys. They just slowly charge up. The damage is going up and up and up. Now it's going to be like 3,000 damage when they get in here. It's a huge shot on that arc light. It did as much as that Phoenix did. Right, it was doing like over 3,000 damage, and that Phoenix, that's what that does, 3,200 damage. So imagine that, right? A Hound doing as much damage as the Phoenix. That's because in the position where you have Hounds and you can defeat one tower, either this side or this side, doesn't matter. Afterwards, they're going to start walking over the other way. And while they do so, they're going to take all this time to charge up. And then by the time they get here, they're going to just blast whatever is left. So it makes for a very versatile unit when you have a position like that where you're putting pressure on one side. Already down to 3,600, Apooche 46. We've got some levels available here. It would be great to see levels on these Hounds. Also still keeping this Phantom Ray. How's it doing? Oh, it's actually doing really well. Sold out of one of the balls. Going, okay, yeah, here we go. Assault Scorp was picked up for Apooche. This is a cool play. I love seeing this. So we got Assault Scorp. It increases HP by 20%, movement speed by 3, and most importantly, decreases the attack interval by 1.5 seconds. So even though it decreases range, doesn't matter. It's going to move in there, and we've got speed specs, right? So it's 16 meters per second with that high mobility as well. So it just cruises in. We move that photon coating over and click up field maintenance. These things are never going to die. There's nothing on the board here that has enough damage to defeat them. And like, maybe you would have a EMP or something next round to force the tech to be disabled. But we've already got that photon coating on here, so very cool play from Apooche. And a huge amount of damage being done. The other thing is, like, the Scorpions do a lot of damage at the end of the round. So I love this. positioning. This is it's pretty similar to like how I put positioning for my Scorpion, like if I'm going Scorpion or whatever. However, I'm usually like a little bit farther up here. So interesting. I might have to steal this. This is maybe the speed spec specialist here. Speed special, like play far back. And at the same time, if you're far enough back, then this chamber compression makes a whole lot of sense too, because that first shot is going to do a lot of damage. Yeah, I really like this. This is a cool play from Apooche here. Interesting. More Scorpions coming down. Sparty's response is going to be... Well, he's got this smart arc light, but the response here is a steel ball production melter. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Some coffee. Okay. I have flank here on the Hound. Usually you see something like sledges here. But the Hound works out. Chamber compression. Oil coming down. It's going to slow things down a bit. Let's see how this interaction works here. Oh, it looks like if there was range, we could get on this Scorpion, but there's no range, and actually they're slowed down from the oil. Melter does not get a lock. It looks like these arc lights are just, there's not enough. Well, the arc lights, no, unfortunately get locked onto the Scorpion. That's really tragic, actually. The arc lights locked onto the Scorpion, and then the melter locked onto the chaff. The exact opposite of what you want. And there's going to be so much damage coming now from Apooche. Wow, okay. Is there anything Sparty can do here to turn this around? You know, drop. Very quick pick here. What is this? Tarantula? Overlord, Rhino, and Farseer. It looks like it was a Tarantula cell. Or sorry, boat cell. Apooche goes for the Rhino. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Going Rhino into a melter. I'm going to put them on the flanks here, and it's just going to take so long to deal with these Rhinos. Might buy enough time. You know, all these arc lights are going to get locked up. There's really not sufficient chaff clear here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 arc lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs of crawlers plus another 5 hounds, 6 hounds if you count that one. And now we've got some air chaff coming out of the wasps. This is going to be a bit too much here, I think, to deal with. And now range picked up for the Hound. Going to keep them far back and safe. It might adjust what locks onto the Scorpions here, though. It might give the Melters an opportunity to lock on the Scorps. But I think maybe with the Wasps here, I mean, it's going to overwhelm the Marksman, and it's going to tank the Melter here. It might buy time for those Crawlers to come in. It looks like, even though range and energy absorption come out, perfect timing on these Wasps, and now there's chaff in front of those Scorpions, and they're just going to get in here. Look how fast these guys are. Distraction here on the sides, taking a long time to deal with, and there's too many Crawlers, not enough chaff clear. They do get a lock on this guy, but the other Melter gets completely overwhelmed. Tower goes down, and with that, that is going to be the end for Sparty. Well played, though. Very cool strat from Apooche here. Love this. I think this Assault Scorp was excellent. Excellent play. So that was a quick one. So we may as well jump into the other Apooche game, see what's going on there. Okay, so that was Americas. Let's go to Europe. Apooche. And actually, I previewed these already. We're going to actually watch the Narayan game. Because there's Hounds in this game, and we're talking about Hounds today. But in this case, it's Narayan going for the Hound play, and Apooche going for the sort of standard sledge crawler play. So Now we're going to have to see how Apooche deals with Hounds. We see how he used them. Now we'll see how he plays against them. So we're going to speed this one up. Missile Spec for Narayan and Quick Sup for Apooche. I'm always interested to see, too, when going Quick Sup, who spends the money in the first round and who saves it for the second round. Sometimes there's more interesting plays you can do if you save your money. Looks like Apooche is going to play safe, going to see what's happening, what this deployment is, and then, yeah, saving the 200 for round 2. Doesn't sell out of these cannons or anything either. We have standard positioning up against this kind of like standard ball as well. And here's an interesting tech choice here. We got the steel ball with kinetic charge, right? We just talked about this. This got a nerf, or not a nerf, a buff. A nerf, it meant it reduced the cost by 50. So it was 200. Oh no, it was 250? 200 or 250? It was 200. Now it's 150. It's reduced cost by 100. It's actually the arc light shockwave and the phantom ray that were reduced by 100, but the kinetic charge was only by 50. So we have these positioned all the way in the back, right? This is going to be very good. It'll have a long time to charge, and I've been having a lot of fun with this tech too. This is awesome. This is the fortified target lock too. This is such a sweet tech choice here. I mean, you lose the ability to have armor on them, but you don't need it if you're kind of trying to play them like super far back with range. So Narayan's approach here, yeah, we're gonna do steel ball and hound. We don't have any techs yet. A couple of missiles both come down on one round. But what the hell? The marksman survived because we've got assault mode picked up here. Crazy choice. That's actually going to do awesome against these steel balls. They're going to help clear up those wasps as well. Wow, very cool play. And I love watching Apooche play. He's got all these cool tricks. Looks like he's going to win this round as well. I got 3,600 starter HP. Very quick pick, advanced shield device. Which is interesting going into the steel balls as well. I mean, you don't know. There hasn't been a tech yet, so... you know, they might get sold. But advanced shield, obviously... shields are not great against balls or any kind of like melters, like beam technology stuff. But it does help. Like if you're in a standard position here and you have those bubbles, it does help spells later. Like ion beam or orbital or storm. Like they're not going to be able to break the shields. It does protect your stuff better. So it is a long anti-spell kind of choice. I do actually like picking it up now. Steel ball, we do have that kinetic charge picked up and more steel balls purchased. Marksman actually does pretty well against the Hounds now too. Now the Hounds cannot kill the Marksman right away, and the Marksman can get a couple in one shot. Boom, you see that double kill. So that's cool. Man, maybe we need to bring back the assault mode. The problem is, like, on my bar, I've got EMP on them. Round 4, double super supply. Obviously, great choice there by both players. But yeah, I use my marksman for EMP. If I take EMP off, I don't know, it feels kind of bad sometimes. I don't even really build marksman that often. I don't know, maybe we should go assault mode. I love this. I think techs like assault mode are really interesting for the game. Techs that kind of like flip a unit's roll a little bit. Right, 500% HP. increase speed, increase attack, but then reduce range. Just like flips the idea of the marksman being a long range, you know, glass cannon or whatever, flipping it the other way. It's cool. That's why I kind of wish like the Hound, what's it called? The Assault Hound. I wish that was a tech that you could click maybe. I don't know. But at the same time, Hound has so many good techs. Like I don't know what to do. Okay, here we go. We got a tempo missile here on the left. Gonna clear that Hound. But the steel balls are gonna lock on the right side. These are... How's it going here? Man, it's hard to say. I think these assault marksmen are doing really well. They get locked on, but they actually take quite a while to kill. And now all those balls are dead on the right. Left side, there's a couple balls, but they're going to be moving over this way. Not going for that tower. Arc lights clear up these Hounds. They are just barely outside of that bubble. Which is probably for the best, because then the bubble stays alive. A couple Hounds is not going to win that. Wait, is the bubble going to stay alive? Yeah. Advanced bubble. So this steel ball is going to farm up. It's going to get a level. The question is, when are we going to get extra range on those balls? Are we going to get even further range? Incendiary offered. Both players choosing Incendiary. Light it up. Like I was saying, like Incendiary was nerfed a bit, but like at the same time, it's so good. It's so good. I'm seeing a lot of positioning like this recently too with the crawlers. Because we actually, one thing is like the cast positioning of like the crawler and sledgehammer. Slowing down all this stuff when you're standard. It probably grabs like this much. Or this much. Having the crawlers on that side means that they're still going to go forward and not get pulled. So it's a really good positioning that people are trying to use now. Fire comes down and Narayan's going to get the better end of that. Although being slowed down in the fire, oh, but it goes away. And actually they just all barely survive. It might have been that fire nerf that kept them alive, doing a bit of extra damage there. Efficient tech. EMP also, maybe. Is battleship a possibility? There is nothing really that shoots up other than a few fangs. Now we've got that range. Steel balls are going to be super high range. Apooche taking his time. Wait, still didn't pick. Skipped. Now we've got some arcs. Level 2 arcs being recruited. Shockwave charge shot armor. So no marksman or improved marksman or whatever it is. Arc light, no EMP. Interesting. Charge shot, a shockwave together could be kind of cool. Yeah, at level 2, look, it just really shreds those Hounds very quickly. There's so many balls here. So with all the balls, Apooche can't make giants, right? It's just like, unless they're in the air, right? They're not, you can't build them on the ground. Also, you know, there is a possibility of fortified target lock. We have we got range on the marksman now too. That's going to help a lot. Range 125 meters. The steel ball is only about 120 once they're halfway. So actually, the marksman still outrange them by a bit, even with the assault mode. They need to move a little bit further. Unit drop here. Looks like this is the Phantom Ray. Phantom Ray picked up here, going in front of the balls. I guess being used to defend against them. And wow, very quick range. Range burst, energy shield, stealth cloak. We don't have armor on Phantom Ray? That's interesting. Yeah, and actually Apooche goes for the Mustang with range. Oh gosh, okay. And with no armor on the Phantom Ray, these Mustangs are gonna do very well. This also covers, you know, covers flanking possibility. It covers any air, any wasps as well. So good choice to kind of round out the army here. Apooche covering weaknesses. Goes for subterranean now. That'll help against these hounds. So what is the positioning here? It was 1, 2, 3. It's 3 over. One, 2, 3, 4. It's just wherever. Okay, and another Mustang. Which is great because there's a lot of Phantom Rays coming out now. The Phantom Rays have range, so they're actually going to stay back. 120 meter of range there. Let's see how this works out. Looks like Apooche's winning the chaff war on the left, and on the other sides they're about even. And on the right side, these Fangs are coming in now. Actually, Fangs have portable shield, but that doesn't matter because now these Mustangs can clear them. Oh my god. Yeah, and these marksmen can farm the Phantom Rays too. Now that everything's dead. Much damage done here. Narayan down under 2k. Heavy armor, enhanced mod. Fortified arc light. Ooh, that could be spicy. We got arc lights here. We got fortified arc light. Come on. But the decrease of range. Maybe it's not. Oh, Apooche goes for it. But okay, so this is normally a really good card. Wait, what? Did I not see fortified arc light? Yeah. Why is it not showing up there? Anyways, it reduces the range, right? Increases the HP. But if we're talking about steel balls here, steel balls don't care about the increased HP and do care that there is reduced range because it's going to make them lock onto the arc light a bit better. So I'm not sure about that. These are definitely fortified, right? They got a lot of HP. Well, now it shows up here. That's weird. Okay. Interesting. Apooche's throwing down some shields, trying to protect against the missile turn. And Narayan, yeah, we've got some more Fangs here. You notice he was losing a chaff war on the left, trying to protect that. And Apooche going for field maintenance now. Just boosting the HP of all of his units pretty substantially this turn. Also 2-2. 1-2 on the other side. Also comes down. Another missile. Alright, let's see who's winning the chaff war here. Looks like left side, middle looks pretty good for Apooche. Right side. Well, now the Fangs are coming in, but the Mustangs are doing quite well. Now all those Fangs are gone. There's still a ton of Mustangs left. The steel balls are really not doing much here because there's no really big targets to deal with. Oh, it's not quite game. Not quite game. Narayan's still alive. And extended range Phantom Ray. Another 30 range for those rays. Is that going to do it? Now they're at 150. Does pick up energy shield as well. Oh, that's a choice. If we're keeping them far back and then also getting energy shield, I don't know. Nuke picked up for Apooche. That looks like it could be pretty spicy. Oh man, it's also the incendiary turn too. This is just Mechabellum right here. A lot of levels for these Mustangs would be nice. Okay, there we go. As long as they don't die, it's really nice. But, you know, if they walk in the fire or if they get pulled, they might get pulled out of a bubble, but I don't think so. It looks pretty good. Those bubbles look good. Apooche's throwing down a lot just in case there is a nuke or also to defend against that incendiary. Incendiary also going to be blocked here from Narayan. And charge shot on arc light. 300% increased attack, but reducing attack interval by 35%. So now these boys are tanky boys. Tanky boys. And we got the fortified arc light improved, or sorry, the charge shot. Cool. So that's going to do well in helping deal with the balls. And I guess the Mustang, now that they're all level 2, we have our attack damage stuff. They're going to do well enough to clear the chaff, plus a lot of the chaff is just fangs anyway. And we're going to use the steel balls to deal damage. Oh, the nuke comes down, does pretty well, but a lot of the units were behind that shield, so they're okay. The side looks like these steel balls are locking onto individual sledgehammers, which is quite bad for the steel balls. Very cool play here from Narayan, but it just looks like it's not gonna work. Yeah, and now, you know, there's no shield, or not shield, there's no armor to help against these Mustangs. Tower goes down. This tower goes down. And that is gonna be lights out for Narayan. Apooche taking this second tournament victory here. Well played, very cool with that assault mode. I think that worked out really well. Like, these marksmen got quite a lot of experience. This guy's like the gold damage. And maybe this last round they didn't do super hot, but yeah, very, very powerful. And then, yeah, never building any big stuff that would get locked on by these steel balls. Interesting choice going for that fortified arc light. This is a very good card. I didn't think it would be so good into these steel balls, but hey, it works out. And charge shot as well. This can also be kind of sketch going into fangs with portable shield, because there already is a reduced rate of fire, and if it shoots the fang, it takes longer, and it shoots the fang again. Like, it really feels bad. But with enough of these Mustangs, Apooche is safe to click charge shot. I guess maybe if things got hairy later, could also maybe pick shockwave. That might help. I don't know. Anyways, good games. Thanks for tuning in, guys, for this Meta Monday. And if you like what you see, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Maybe join the Discord, come hang out, say hi. We do replay reviews as well from the community. So, you know, if you're having some problems with games, come join. Send us your replays, and maybe we can go over it on the stream here. Yeah. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.